الله 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 أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on SAJ Mahal. I'm Saj Bhatt. After last week's optimism and the T20 World Cup, we were hoping tonight to be celebrating Pakistan's World Cup victory. Alas, it wasn't to be. They made an extraordinary effort. They made us very proud. But let's face it, it's not the end of the world. And it's certainly not a matter of life or death. However, the subject matter that we're going to be discussing this evening is cancer. The very word sends shivers down your spine and fear into your heart. Extraordinarily, you may be surprised, I certainly was, that there's over 200 different types of cancers. Each has its different diagnosis and treatment. Remarkably, one in two of every one of us at some stage in our lives will have some form of cancer. There are four main types of cancer in the UK: breast cancer, bowel cancer, lung cancer, and prostate cancer. As I said, there's so many different ways of treating it and so many different people have it. Tonight's program is entitled Muz Khan, My Battle with Cancer. My special guests, extraordinary couple, are Muz Khan and his lovely wife, Sarah Khan. They very bravely have bucked the trend and come on live TV to share their story and experience of what it is like to have a member of family who is diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Now, it may be very much a cultural thing, but it is extraordinary how particularly the British Pakistani Muslim community does tend to still see this as a taboo subject and very much tries to hide if anybody in their family or friends, etc., is going through this process. So tonight, we would very much encourage you. Lines will be open very shortly. Please call us if you know of anybody who's going through this such treatment or suffering, or you've come across special alternative treatments that will help people. Anything. Tonight is about educating one another as well as listening to Sarah and Muz's story. So live call number is 0161 5299 455. Please pick up the phone and call. I'll repeat that number for you again, 0161 5299 455. And of course, if you want to send an email, my email address is saj@sajmahal, that's with 2 L's.com, saj@sajmahal.com. Welcome to my guests. Thank you once again. I'm really, really grateful for you joining us, Muz and Sarah. Thank you for coming. How are you both?
Alhamdulillah, good, all good, thank you.
Yeah, good, excellent. First of all, let's start. How long have you two known each other?
Gosh, quite a while now. We've been together almost just under 20 years.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, we got married.
Yeah.
4 children now.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah,
Well done.
One of us in the studio, lurking about. He's 7 years old.
Right, okay.
And then I have a daughter, she's a 16-year-old.
Wow.
And she's currently studying at Clitheroe Grammar.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, she's doing all right there.
Very good.
And then I have a son who's 24. He's moved to Manchester and got himself a place to live, and he's got a job. He's started it.
Good.
And then I have an older daughter who's 27.
Wow.
And she lives in Clayton. She works in a pharmacy. So yeah.
Very good. Quite a range then.
Yeah.
So Sarah, let's first of all, you've known each other 20 years. Was there a stage you started noticing any changes in behaviour or health-wise in Muz?
Yeah, particularly related to the cancer. Around January, February of last year, I started with stomach pains and things like that.
Of course, at that stage, you didn't know it was cancer.
No.
You just had stomach pains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't think much of it. Went to the doctors, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did some tests, routine tests. They thought it was just kind of a stomach bug.
Yeah, it came back, asked for a stool sample.
Mm.
So I sent a stool sample off.
Yeah.
And it's basically came back that I had a Helicobacter pylori, which is a kind of a stomach bug. It's quite a common stomach bug. So they gave me some antibiotics to start off with. So I took them. And then I said to them, the symptoms are still there. So they said, okay, come back for some more. So I had another round of antibiotics. They didn't work. And then they said, oh, okay, you must have, because I couldn't go to the toilet, it was like constipated. So they said, we'll give you some Laxido. So they gave me some sachets of Laxido.
Oh, Laxido,
yeah.
yes.
So I was drinking them quite regularly. That didn't do anything. And
Tried a few hormone remedies, didn't
yeah,
you? Some
herbal
different
remedies, that
things.
didn't work.
And of course, at this
Seeds and-
stage, you would have no idea.
No
You
idea.
wouldn't have even
Never
thought
even
that.
thought about
No.
it.
Okay.
No.
A bit later on, we started looking at like symptoms,
Yes.
and I remember saying to Muz at one point, because one of the main symptoms is any blood
Yes.
when you go into the toilet,
Mm.
and he said no. So I was
No.
like, well,
Yeah.
it can't be that
Take
then.
that
Surely
off.
it's not
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it continued to get worse, didn't it?
Yeah, and the pain started to get worse in the abdomen, lower abdomen, and obviously I couldn't go to the toilet, like I said. And so I spoke to them again. I said, listen, I'm still having this problem, and it's causing me discomfort and a bit of pain. And then the doctor said, oh, well, if it's causing you pain, you need to be going to A&E. As soon as they said that, I put the phone down and I went straight to urgent care.
Right.
I went to urgent care and I told them, obviously they must have seen my history of what medications I'm on anyway, because I've got high blood pressure and things like that.
Yeah.
And they said, then there was another person, a trainee doctor, and another doctor came in, and I thought, oh, this is getting a bit serious. There's 2 or 3 of them, you know, one at a time, diagnosing me, so to speak. So then they took me into a room, I did a check the traditional way. He put fingers,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
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 And then he found a lump
All right.
straight away, and he said,
Yeah.
oh, we found a lump, I could feel a lump in there.
Yeah.
It's roughly about 4 centimetres inside the
Yeah.
rectum. We don't know if it's cancer, but it could be, and we need to do further tests. And then they took it from there and then did a biopsy and everything like that, and it turned out to be cancerous.
That's
yeah.
what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me how you felt at that stage when you find out.
Well, it took 6 months actually, from January for me going to the doctors for the antibiotics.
Yeah.
Up
To
until
get to
June,
that,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
June.
It took 6 months of me telling them I've got problems with my
See,
stomach.
this is quite often the problem, isn't it? You
Very
know,
big problem.
because
Very big
the delay. I mean, we're always told by doctors, you know, check for lumps, unexplained bleeding, and bowel habits, or coughing and chest pains and so forth. Yet, when we get these symptoms, you go to the doctors and so forth. The whole process can take so long, and then
Yeah.
obviously we're all aware the earlier any disease,
Diagnosed,
any
yeah.
illness, the earlier it's diagnosed, the better the chances
Of course, yeah.
recovery.
Yeah.
So looking back, do you think there could have been anything done to speed up the process?
I think so, but at the same time, we were in the middle of
We were in the
COVID.
middle of lockdown at
yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
So they were not seeing many people
No.
and things like that. So
Yeah.
that kind of hindered
Yeah, absolutely.
probably the progress.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I've done my research afterwards, I've read plenty of books now, and alarm bells should have been ringing when they found that bug. About somebody
Yes.
my age
Yeah.
found that bug, and I'm on these certain
How
medications.
old are you, Will?
45 now.
45. Still
Yes.
a young man.
Still a young one, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sarah, how
Still
did
young.
you react? How did he tell you? Were you together?
we were together, yeah.
You were together?
It was June, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's a strange one because we're sort of in the middle of lockdown. I was homeschooling my son.
All right.
I was literally in the middle of that, you know. Obviously, Muz walked in looking very anxious. I could tell that he was pacing
Yeah.
up and down.
And I just said it, oh, it's
And he just blurted it out, and
cancer.
I was just shocked. And I
know.
thought, if they've said that to him, that's what it's most likely going to be. They've not said that to him, it not being cancer. I said, let's go upstairs, let's talk about this, you know, because the children were about, and it was just, obviously, just this
I'll say to you later.
shock.
Yeah.
You just can't take it all in.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
you never kind of think that that's what it's going to be at all.
Right. So, as I mentioned, quite often in the British Pakistani Muslim community, I'm not sure why that is, but we do tend to keep it quiet. We hide it, certainly from the
Yeah,
neighbours and even
absolutely.
close family members.
Yeah.
Firstly, why do you think that is, and how did you react? Did you?
I'm not quite sure why it is. I mean, my mum was the same.
Yeah.
when I said to her, it's cancer, she goes, oh no, kuni cancer. No, it's not cancer.
Yeah.
Mum, I've been diagnosed with.
Yeah.
No, peti koi bimari hai, it's a stomach problem. You've got
So she kind of denied it,
yeah.
didn't she?
And even then when people asked her, when
She
wouldn't say, no, it's not cancer. No.
Yeah.
And even now she probably doesn't want to believe it, but she accepted it a little bit now, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
She even said to me once, somebody stopped me on the street, a neighbour, and sort of said house moles, and I was sort of saying, because I wanted to be open, I wanted to, tell our story or say something about it. She goes, oh, don't really say anything. Don't say anything to anyone. You know, we don't know what people think about it,
Yeah, and she thinks that
It
people might...
would be interesting to hear from any of our viewers who have similar experience, and I'd love to have some insight as to why it is that our mindset is such that we don't want anybody to know. Because the way it could be viewed is that the more you share, the more you will learn from people. They may be able to tell you of their experiences, guide you towards certain people or certain treatments. So please, dear viewers, if you could kindly pick up the phone and give us a phone on 0161 5299 455. Right, sorry about that. So,
it's okay.
So, did you try to initially? Were you straight away think, right? We need to share. We want to find out. And
I wasn't.
You weren't.
I didn't want anybody to. Well, no, it's just friends. I'm on WhatsApp groups. The football group. I've got a couple of football groups.
Yeah.
I told the lads there, and then I didn't want to tell them many more people.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when we thought about the alternative treatments,
Yeah.
like I'm doing at the moment.
So at what stage? I mean, what were the treatments that you got initially from NHS?
Right. So the standard protocol is chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and surgery. They started me off with radiotherapy.
Yeah.
And basically the surgeon, he said to me, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to we've caught it in the nick of time." He said.
Yeah.
We're going to reduce the size of the tumour.
Yes.
Then we'll. First of all, they put me a bag on. I wear a bag, close to my bag.
All
I've done that emergency within a week or so.
Yeah, they did that kind of emergency because I was in that much pain.
Yeah.
So I wear a bag now. And they said, what we will do, we'll have the bag on, then we'll shrink the tumour down with radiotherapy, then we'll take the tumour out, remove the tumour, and then we'll leave it for a bit, and then we'll reverse the bag and put you back to normal again. That's the plan of action.
Right.
And it didn't work out like that because the disease had kind of progressed.
Already progressed.
And then they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
this is going to back to that point about how long it takes for them to start treating.
Yeah.
It could already have spread when you first had that bug, if you like.
Well, yeah.
Couldn't it?
Because the bug that you had doesn't always lead to cancer, but it can do, and it is cited on Cancer UK site. That particular bacterium bug that was in his stomach.
Yes.
Like I say, it doesn't always, but it can do. So in hindsight, it would have been good if that was followed up. Just investigated a bit more.
A bit bowel screening here, it's not as common. I mean, if you're in Australia, if you say you've got a bad stomach ache, and they screen you for cancer straight away.
Really?
Whereas here, and certain other countries, they're just
And how do you know that?
Just research, and people have told me, and I've seen things on YouTube and things like that, and
Okay, so you had the chemotherapy.
So radiotherapy at first for 10 weeks. For 10 weeks.
What's the difference?
So radiotherapy is basically, it's like it's not X-rays, but it's more powerful than X-rays, and it kind of burns the tumour. So it's where you're in a kind of a tube, and they fire these lasers at you.
Okay.
And they try to target the tumour in the rectum. It shrink it down, but it didn't shrink down.
Right.
And that took 10 weeks, so it's 2.5 months nearly of doing that, and that didn't work. They tried me with oral chemotherapy. I was getting sick of that, and my body couldn't handle it. I was losing weight.
Oral chemotherapy?
Yeah, it's like capecitabine. It's like a tablet.
Right.
And I was taking now 6 tablets a day, 1,000 milligrams. It's quite a lot. And my body can't hack it. I was feeling sick, and I was losing weight. And
so it's on NHS. Do you have to pay for that treatment?
No, that's NHS. That's free.
The tablets.
The tablets are free. Yeah.
Right,
so that didn't work, and then they said, right, well, I'm going to have to go down the chemotherapy route, intravenous. So I currently wear obviously you can't see it now, but I've got a tube going, which is here in the arm.
Is that in now?
Yeah.
That stays in constant.
But it stays in constant.
So how long have you had that?
Since March.
Right.
And basically it goes into your main artery.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way up, just about 3 inches away from your heart. So it's so that they don't have to use a cannula all the time, keep it jabbing here. So now all they do is unscrew it, plug me in, and then I'm on the drip.
With your plumbing background, I mean,
yeah.
It's a plumbing job.
That's basically what it is, human plumbing. And so they take the bloods out of there. And I also do my vitamin C through there as well.
Yeah.
So it's
right. So you had the radiotherapy, you had the chemotherapy.
Work.
The only thing I know about chemotherapy is you lose your hair.
Yeah, well, man,
you
kind
don't
of.
Have to.
It's going a bit thin. I don't mind.
This particular one, they're all a little bit different. This particular one that is on at the minute, so it's just coming towards the end of, just thins the hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are saying at the minute we would like to try another type. It's what's called a second line. Which on that particular type of chemotherapy would probably lose all his hair if he wants to go down that route. But obviously we are exploring a lot of alternative. Well, Muz has done a lot of research into alternative, more natural therapies.
Right. So you've had all these things. What stage did you think, right, this isn't doing any, or were you told, look, that's it, we're not going to be able to do any more for you?
What happened was it was New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
I had a heart attack.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was due to have surgery in was it February?
It was due to have surgery, I think, 4th of January
4th of
initially.
January. And then because about that, I got a heart attack New Year's Eve. They couldn't do the surgery because your heart's obviously still trying to recover.
Yes.
And there would have been a little too much pressure in the surgery. So they said, we can't do the surgery now. So they had to delay it till February.
So I assume it was a fairly mild one.
This one was a mild one,
It's what we call an end-STEMI, which is a partial block.
Because I've got a stent in my heart as it is.
Is that following your heart attack or before your heart attack?
We had the first heart attack before he was diagnosed with cancer.
That was like
okay.
Summer 2019. Summer 2019, I had a heart attack. That was quite a serious one.
Yeah.
And they took me straight to Blackpool.
I remember that.
And they put a stent in.
Yes.
That same stent kind of got blocked New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And obviously they couldn't operate. And then in February I went for surgery.
On the day of the surgery, we literally took him for the surgery to remove the primary tumour that he's got in the rectum.
Right.
We took him, we couldn't go in, we had to say our goodbyes at the door, let him go in.
Oh, right, yeah.
Drive home.
Yeah.
As soon as I got home, I got a phone call from Muz saying, they need to speak to you, you need to come back.
Okay.
And I thought, right, okay, this is not going to be good.
No.
Didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was going to be too good.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got into the room, we was there with the gown on, waiting for the surgery.
Yeah.
And that's when they said, it's no longer stage 3. It was diagnosed initially as 3C,
right,
which is borderline 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not 4 anymore. It's not 3C, it's 4 now. Yeah. It's spread to the peritoneum.
So, this stage 4 sounds pretty serious. I mean,
it is.
Is there another stage after that?
No, it's kind of the
this
final,
is the final
stage.
Kind of stage. Okay. That's when in a way, almost obviously you never lose hope and you always try and say, but in a way it kind of indicates to you that, look, we're really in dire straits.
And, of course.
And then you started looking for alternative
That's
therapies.
what happened, yeah. It was February time, and then they were going to operate, like she said, and then they said to me, we think it's spread, but we're going to have to go. They were going to do keyhole surgery at first, and they said, instead of that, we're going to have to go the traditional way and cut you open and do it that way. And I said, there's a 1 in 4 chance of survival. You have to give us consent right now. And I was like, Mum was like, no. She started crying, and my wife was getting upset. I said, no, don't do it. Come home now, go home. And I took the decision and said, listen, let's do it, let's go for it. So and the surgeon said, right. And then I went to the theatre, they put me to sleep, and when I woke up, obviously I didn't have no opening. This is a few little cuts. He said to me, it's spread into the stomach, so they couldn't operate. So then when they said it's stage 4 and this spread to certain other places, I thought to myself, listen, the radiotherapy didn't work, the capecitabine tablets didn't work, everything that they're doing is not working. I really need to tackle it myself as well. And then that's when I started to buy books. I bought a couple of books, one How to Starve Cancer. How to Starve Cancer, yeah. Another book called Primal Panacea, which is basically all about vitamin C and what it can do to the body and how it can fight disease and infection. And then that's when I thought, right, I really need to be tackling this from all angles,
I must say, I have to say that you've both been extraordinarily brave.
Thank you.
I think you particularly Sarah, I mean, you know, you need a strong lady by you, a strong partner, strong family support around you. And I feel as though Sarah provided lots of support to you and helped motivate you to continue on this journey. Right, so what stage did we find this alternative? I mean, what other alternative?
The thing is with cancer, there's so many people that will come and say, listen, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Ashwagandha, the Masabuti, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but a lot of people say that is very, very good. It's like a herb back in Pakistan and India for breast cancer.
If
and
it was
other
my
cancers.
sister, she'd say have biryani and... Right, we've got our first call of the evening. Right. Hey, caller, who's calling, please?
Saj, it's Javed here from Nelson, Jav.
Jav, nice to hear from you. Thank you very much for calling. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, I'm just listening to your program and Mother's story. And Sarah, first of all, I'd like to say salam to them and good evening.
Good evening.
I met Muz in Alexandria, playing pool a few months ago.
All right.
We had a chat and absolutely just listening to him on your program, Saj. It's, you know, my heart reaches out for him, and I just want him to know, and Sarah, that the whole community is with you, you know. I know Sarah's done a crowdfunding round for his alternative therapies and things like that, but, you know, I think things like this have to be brought out into the open. People, it's a learning curve for our community, you know, like you mentioned, a lot of this is taboo. It's not just with cancer, but there's other illnesses like mental health, which all get brushed under the carpet.
Good point.
You know, there's things, you know, all of these issues.
Why do you think that is? Why is it we want to...
I think some of it, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Mother's case is unique, and cancer, I think, you know, obviously, it's a serious illness. It's one of the more serious illnesses that you can ever think of. And, you know, obviously, we wish him the best, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him shifa, you know, complete shifa. That's our wholehearted dua, you know, and he's got to realize that. But I think, you know, I mean, I've suffered from anxiety and depression. I think I met you on Lomisha Road once, didn't I? And I started telling you. And I'm quite open about it. I like to talk it through with people, because you shut yourself away. And, you know, I think Moses got to realize that the community are, you know, he can come to any member of the community, and we've all got time for him. We've got time for him. I think if you shut yourself away, you're cutting off your avenues of support, you know, and I think, you know, when you're in, and I've not been in that situation, and you know, I don't wish anyone to be in that situation.
Jav, I really appreciate your call. Thank you very much for your support, and thank you for your prayers. We've got another caller, so we'll keep in touch. Thank you. Next caller, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Who's calling, please?
It's Ziggy Shah from Newcastle.
Can you just turn the TV volume right down, please, off, because we're having interference as soon as you're able to.
Right, that's better now. Can you hear me okay now?
Not much better. Ziggy Shah ringing from?
Newcastle.
Newcastle, right, great.
Yep.
Okay, carry on, please.
I just want to wish my good friend Muzan all the best, and inshallah ta'ala, I want to tell him that I'm praying for him, the whole family's praying for him.
Amen.
And we can't say in words how proud we are of how he's battling it. And inshallah ta'ala, he's got plenty of family support, plenty of friends. I just want to wish him all the best, and I'm so proud to see him there today, talking about something which people tend to shy away from, and he's highlighting a cause, and I'm sure he'll get through this, inshallah.
You made a fantastic point, because I was on the subject that it is extraordinarily brave of them, because it's not an easy subject to talk to anybody about. You know, we have a slight illness and we shy away. We don't want to talk to anybody. We don't want to face anybody. So, you know, well done to them. And in some ways, it is a form of treatment as well, actually. The more you share, the more you talk about it, the more you find out. And it shows your extraordinary motivation, to be honest, you know, your strength. And this is part of it, I think, the healing process is that you stay strong. You stay full of hope. Another caller. Who's calling, please?
It's me again. I think reception up here is pretty bad up north.
I'm sorry?
It's me, Mshah, again. I rang earlier, I got cut off.
Okay. Sorry, go on. Did you want to add to what you'd already said?
basically just wanted to say like how proud we are of him, and basically keep going, keep fighting.
Yes.
And inshallah, next time I'm in town, I'm going to take him out for a kebab. We do a food review together.
Thank you very much. Okay.
No,
Thank
okay.
you. Thanks for your
Get
call.
off,
Really
it's okay,
appreciate it.
it's okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much. Okay. So alternative therapy.
Yeah.
What did you try and what are you on currently? What did you settle on?
I'm currently doing quite a few things actually.
Right.
A lot, yeah. The main one is the high dose vitamin C.
High dose vitamin C.
That's the main one,
Okay.
yeah.
How did you come across? Is it that book? you read?
First of all, it was in that book, How to Starve Cancer.
Yes.
And then I came across another book called Primal Panacea, and that one focuses mainly, on vitamin C and different diseases, cardiovascular, immunity, every kind of thing you can think of. It helps. And vitamin C targets the stem cell. So basically, if you think about a tree.
Yes.
With the branches.
Yes.
Chemotherapy only kills the leaves of the tree.
Yes.
It doesn't kill the bark or the branches.
Yes.
The vitamin C actually targets the bark and the branches and kills the stem cell.
Wow.
So if you can imagine chemotherapy killing the leaves, what happens is it's going to flourish some more afterwards.
Afterwards, yeah.
But what happens with that is it becomes resistant to that chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And then they say you, oh, Mr. Khan, we're going to have to try you on the second line chemotherapy.
Yes.
And then that don't work. And then
Yes.
the third line don't work. And then after that, they say, Mr. Khan, I'm sorry, there's nothing else we can do, but we can just give you this kind of care, palliative care, which is almost where they're kind of going.
That is a fantastic way of explaining it, actually.
Yeah.
Very good, excellent, thank you. So, part of, you see, the treatment of any disease, again, is for the patient to understand as much as possible about it, and they can, in a way, be in charge of the process, treatment process, which is exactly what you've done. So, this treatment then, what does it involve?
Well, not much really, but basically I go to the vitamin clinic in Nelson,
Right.
which I stumbled across through my friend, which is very, very lucky because we were looking at going to Manchester, weren't we?
Places in Manchester.
And that was the nearest place,
unique.
and they were charging a fortune
more.
for
Right.
basically almost 3 times as much as what this gentleman, Dr. Mahmood, is charging at the vitamin clinic. And I went down to see him. He gives me the very best price as well for the product I'm getting.
Is it okay for you to share how much that
Still
is?
very expensive though. And we're funding that
Uh,
ourselves.
It's £300 each time I go.
And
I
how
go,
often do you
I
need
go
to
twice
go?
a week.
Twice
so
a week.
So £600
And
a
how
week.
long have you been going with us?
Oh gosh, since March, no.
It's been going since March.
No,
but
maybe a
not
bit-
having the doses quite how we
About
should
4 or
have
5
had.
months.
I think it's been helping him.
So
Okay, so tell me, this is really interesting, is how are you feeling before you go? And then after you've had it, what happens? What does this treatment do?
I mean,
straight away or
I don't
after
feel
a
like
week?
bouncing off tall buildings or anything like that. I just feel it kind of gets rid of the sickness feeling. So this morning I felt
So
really
you've
bad.
been today?
Yeah, today. Yeah, I've been today. Yeah, I was there for an hour and a half.
That's your twice you see. So perky.
But I had my chemotherapy on what day was it? Monday.
Right.
And then I go home with a pump.
Yeah.
Basically, the pump infuses a little bit of chemotherapy every hour.
All right.
And I wear that for 2 days. It's kind of awkward because it gets caught and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I wear that for 2 days, and then that got taken off just before I came here. And then when that got taken off, I went to the vitamin clinic, sorry, and then they give me the vitamin C, and I feel
And how is that given to you?
same. Intravenous straight into the blood.
Right.
Luckily, I've got this.
How
in.
long does it take?
An hour and a half to 2 hours
Oh, right. So it's
on a drip. Quite a long time, yeah.
Wow.
He gives me 75 grams worth, which is almost the equivalent of about say 800 or 900 oranges.
Wow.
So if you can imagine that kind of, so it kind of got rid of the sickness. I felt sick earlier,
Yes.
just about 2 hours ago,
Right.
and I was kind of regurgitating, but only
Yeah.
saliva was coming out, thank
Yeah.
God. And then I had that, and now I don't feel sick.
And how long effect of this last? You know, you spent 300 quid.
The thing is, I'm just trialing it myself.
Are you?
I don't know whether
No, I
it's
mean this effect that you've had.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, this treatment. Say last time, how long ago was it since you last had it?
You try to have it every week. The
twice a
recommendation is twice a week.
Twice
every
a week,
and
yeah.
that's what he's trying to do now. Since this particular chemotherapy isn't quite getting the
So
cancer
you're
under
spending
control.
300 times 2 per week.
Yes,
600
600 a
a week,
week.
yeah.
So 2 things I wanted to know. How has this affected your relationship, personal relationship?
Yeah.
And then how has it affected your relationship with your finances? Because
well, I've pinched a cash card.
All right, okay.
I've depleted all the savings. No, on a serious note, she said, "Oh, we'll get some help," and I said, "No." Obviously, the Pakistani in me said, "No, I don't want no help. I'm too proud. You know, I'll do it myself. I don't need no help."
Right.
So I started using my savings,
Yeah.
and I depleted all of them. And then, as you know, I worked in construction, so I had loads of building materials left over, selling slates at home, sold them.
Yeah.
The next on the cards was the wife's car.
Yeah.
I said sell it.
She said sell the car because I've got another vehicle, so we were thinking of selling that. And then before we haven't sold it yet, but she said, "Why don't we just do it?" And I said, "Oh, you know what, do what you want." That's what I said, and she did it. And now I'm glad that she has, because people have been obviously giving donations, and it's helping. And also people who have got cancer themselves can open up to it now. Hopefully, that's the
So you obviously came a stage. You thought, well, we virtually spent everything we've had.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah. And we need some other help and so forth. And then you sought to, seek external help and so forth.
Yeah.
By what were we told? What can we mention? What can we not mention?
We're allowed to mention it, yeah.
Yeah.
In this process, we've come across a couple of other people in the local area that are suffering from cancer themselves, bringing quite severe prognoses. We're inspired by one person in particular, I won't mention them just in case I can't,
you can't.
who did some funding of their own through crowdfunding, and we were inspired by that to do that, and that's the route that we've had to go at the minute to be able to fund all the because although Muz has mentioned the vitamin C, he's doing a lot of other
things
alternative.
Which are
one of them is the book that I read, How to Starve Cancer. Basically, it's a COC protocol. It means it's a care oncology clinic, which is based in London, and they're doing a clinical trial. The clinical trial involves 4 drugs. They're off-label medication: metformin, doxycycline, which is an antibiotic, statin, and then mebendazole. All 4 of them target different pathways and try and block off the glucose pathway, the fat pathway, and so on. And it's basically for 4 tablets. I take them every day. I get them from the same again. Dr. Mahmood gives me them, and then I take them on a daily basis as well. So that's another thing.
Black seed oil, which is again not really mentioned mainstream through the NHS, but if you really do a lot more research on it, black seed oil, and a lot of obviously in the Islamic world, it's very well known.
Yeah.
Well, it cures everything
it's
about
very good for
death.
cancer.
So.
Very good for cancer. Black seed oil. It's taking a whole range. Salvestrol, which is a really intense plant-based supplement, because it's very important that there's particular plants and vegetables out there, cruciferous vegetables, that can help your body again naturally fight cancer. We really try and eat those kind of things, everything organic, so that costs more money. There's so many, it's endless what he's doing.
There's so much things you have to do. I mean, the one that she mentioned is Salvestrol. Basically, if the cancer's dying off inside, them dead cells can come back to life. So you're taking this Salvestrol and that excretes it out of you. Otherwise, if it stays there, it stays dormant, it can come manifest and come back again, which is not good, obviously.
So, I mean, it's there all the time, isn't it? 24/7.
Oh, yeah, mentally.
Your life revolves around it. Are you able to do any kind of work?
I have done the odd day here and there. When I have the energy to do it. I still participate in sports when I can with the lads, play football.
All right.
I'm supposed to be playing tonight, actually, this second. The lads are playing, so they should be here watching this programme. But they're very busy in Burnley playing football at the moment.
But that's another thing, isn't it, that from the research that he's done, how important it is to prevent cancer, but also to exercise is very, very important.
Yes.
The key points are...
And obviously stay positive, because that human interaction is really important. Going out with friends, having a laugh and so forth.
Definitely.
That is a major part of your treatment.
Definitely,
because if you just have the treatment and then you lie in bed worrying about what's going to happen, it probably isn't going to do you much good.
He's very, very positive, though. He's a very strong-minded person.
Sometimes.
Very. No, most of the time.
He has
His whole journey, I've barely seen him. I've been the one that's broken down.
Really?
And he's comforted me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's the one with cancer.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
very strong. He's
That's
very
good.
strong.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, he's very strong.
Has it impacted on your family life? You know, does it? Or have
Yeah,
you,
definitely.
has it
I think it's
brought-
brought us stronger. And
Brought you
also,
Closer, it brings it closer, yeah.
however,
definitely.
obviously, it brings its own challenges just in general anyway, doesn't it? You know, it does put strains on
Yeah, it-
mental well-being,
and-
your family life. Like you say, everything revolves for
Yeah.
us around cancer.
Yeah.
It really does.
You know, what we
I-
eat, you know, why I
drink and
eat, you
sleep
know.
it.
I try not to eat meat now as much as
Yeah,
well,
no,
keep
eat
away from
hardly.
sugar, refined sugar, processed foods. You have to really tackle it head on, especially at this stage. If I was to still carry on eating like I did before, then that disease is going to progress and it could be end within a few weeks.
Is there anything in family history?
No, well, genetically, cancer only affects 5 to 10% of the population. That's it. So it's the rest of it's your lifestyle choices, you know, your
Right.
diet. Yeah, if you don't exercise.
Yes.
You know,
Smoking.
drinking,
You're not-
smoking.
you've never
No,
smoked,
no,
yeah.
no. Well, I did a long time ago. But
Did you?
20 years ago, maybe.
Right.
Not a massive though. But
No. And obviously external factors like toxins and things like that.
Yeah.
But main one is what you put in here. Really.
Looking
this
back
particular
then,
cancer,
say, you think, you know, quite often one reflects, say, oh, I wish I'd never done this.
Yeah.
And is there things you wish, in terms of lifestyle then, or
Yeah.
diet?
Diet. Builder's diet's not good, you know.
Builder's diet.
Builders, you're on the go, you know, say if I'm
Yeah.
working somewhere or
Takeaways and
burger,
so forth.
RD, you know, never.
Actually, Sarah, you
Sandwich.
were talking early on about the diet and what we eat, and since the advent or rise of fast food,
and
you
takeaways.
mentioned about China and Japan and so on. Do you want to just talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, because obviously throughout the whole journey we've done a lot of research, and one programme in particular that we watched was called The C Word, and on there it really breaks each element of how you can prevent cancer and obviously recover better from it. And one of those things on there is a heavily plant-based diet. For example, in Japan they didn't suffer a lot from digestive tract cancers, if you will, colon or rectal cancers. However, because there's more and more takeaways there now, and they're eating that kind of food, it is on the increase in the whole and in the Western world in general.
Yes.
What we are eating,
Yes.
we're not eating enough whole grains, fibre, plants. You know,
Yes.
a heavily plant-based diet.
Yeah.
Too much red meat, processed, takeaway, the wrong kind of oil. I mean, even now we only eat extra virgin olive oil. That's got properties in itself that help prevent and you know, help your body fight cancer. Just that alone, just eating extra virgin olive oil, which we do now.
Yeah.
Just making those changes of having a mainly plant-based diet and a good nutrition.
Good nutrition. So
Yeah.
that would be the single biggest
Definitely.
factor.
so.
And obviously exercise.
Exercise,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Good. Right. So, people watching, what other things, advice would you give them looking back on your journey? You know, how you might have done things possibly differently, or if you'd known or done that earlier, or
Prevention is better than cure
Yeah.
in some ways.
Yeah.
Plant-based diet,
if I'd eaten better.
exercising a bit more, stress.
Stress,
as
work,
well.
yeah, work.
Managing stress.
Yeah.
Is very,
Being in a trade, a lot of tradesmen probably at home could tell you, it's very stressful, you know, when you, especially when dealing with customers, if things go wrong and sometimes it comes to the end and they don't want to pay and you're getting into this tussle and,
yeah,
you know, and stress releases, you know, this certain chemical which accelerates your HDL, your bad cholesterol.
well, actually, I was reading this article about stress. I don't know if you know, I got COVID a few weeks ago, actually,
Oh, wow, okay,
which
did
I
you?
was really surprised with. I've had
Oh,
both injections, and I lead a very good, healthy lifestyle,
Yeah.
exercise, good diet, and all that and so forth. So I was really puzzled. I thought, you know, what? And one of the things which made a lot of sense to me is that at that particular time, I was going through a particularly stressful period.
Okay.
And this is what happens is when you're really stressed, the body's immune system tries to fight the stress instead of the germs, if you like, and so forth. So the resources of the body are going towards fighting the stress or alleviating the stress, and that leaves you exposed to germs and other diseases and so forth. You know, it's kind of they're getting through the back door, if you like. Whereas normally your immune system is all the time fighting disease and so forth. In addition to the injections you've had and so forth, the vaccines and so forth. So, you know, that's a very good point, actually. Diet is very important. Exercise is very important. Sleep is very important.
Yeah, and a lot of people are doing that mindfulness.
Yes.
You know, just taking time out, breathing and things like that. And people laugh at it. And when I look back now, you know, people doing yoga and Reiki and I think, you know what, it's actually beneficial for your health. Definitely, just taking time out, forgetting about work, forgetting about everything really, just focusing on yourself and just breathing and relaxing, and it's a big thing.
Yeah. So moving forward, then, what are the plans and what are you hoping to do?
Okay, well, going forward, there is actually a drug called Avastin. Now, it's
Just say that again.
Avastin. Avastin. It's available. Sorry, it's championed by the NHS, but it's not available on the NHS because it's too expensive. So there's a hospital in Blackburn called Beardwood.
Yes.
And I've been in touch with them, and they are going to give me some prices on how much it would cost to have that particular drug. I'm hoping that my body is able to take that in, and then they can give me a price and get me on there. That's one option.
It's very expensive. As a general, I mean, we haven't had the consultation yet, but Google's a wonderful thing. So we have Googled it and we have got a rough idea. I mean, for the average person, for a year's supply of Avastin, it's around £20,000.
Dollars, I think that was, wasn't it?
Was it mad?
Yeah, so it's
And I
roughly
know there's a
£50,000.
petition going around at the minute saying that actually should be available, that drug should be available on the NHS.
Yeah.
But it's not, although we'll just come across something this evening that it might be on a cancer development fund, possibly.
Yeah,
so that's
possibly.
another route. But at the moment, as it stands, our oncologist has said, it's a great drug.
Yes.
This would be good for you.
Yes.
We can't offer it you. You will have to go private
And
for
the
that.
treatment you're getting, it obviously isn't available on the NHS as well.
All the vitamin C and the alternative, we've asked them about that. They say, yes, we know about it, but we can't offer you that.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because they haven't got the money for it, or they don't approve of it?
They don't
I
approve.
think it's a bit of both, actually, probably.
They don't approve of
Say.
it. Because vitamin C is very cheap. Anybody can kind of make it if you want. If you
But not 800 oranges every time.
Well, yeah.
You couldn't eat that many.
Yeah.
I don't think you could drink that many.
No, but unfortunately, we are set in stone with cancer therapies.
Outdated,
Outdated, yeah, like 1930s, 1940s, nothing's changed really. They're giving the same sort of medicines back then what they are now. Nothing's progressed yet. Billions and trillions of dollars, or pounds, have been ploughed into, you know, cancer research, and nothing ever comes of it. Because it's, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate, but it's all about money. It's all about money and keeping the big people happy.
Yeah. So, Muz, I think we're coming towards the end of the programme. I just wanted to say thank you so much. Oh, we've got still quite a bit of time, actually. Right, sorry. Reminder to viewers, no, we've got, sorry, I'm reading the time incorrectly. Viewers, just a reminder again, the lines have gone quiet. The live call number is 0161 5299 455. Please give us a call, share with us some of your experience. By all means, ask our guests any questions that you might have. It would be great to hear from you. 0161 5299 455. Thank you. Okay, so line's just open for a few more minutes, so get your call in as quickly as you're able to. Thank you very much. Okay, Sarah, over to you. Anything?
Yeah, I was just thinking, because obviously I thought before I came on, you know, as you do with things, you know, that you feel that are important to say. And we did touch upon, you know, the plant-based diet, and again, obviously throughout all of this, you know, I even looked to, you know, what the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon them, did, looked at their diet, what was sunnah as well. Even the Prophet had a heavily based plant-based diet and didn't eat meat that often.
No.
You know, so, and the black seed oil. So we like Muz said, we're trying to fight it from all angles. We've researched it from all angles.
It's very true that actually.
Yeah,
I must
interesting.
emphasize that the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, did very rarely eat meat. Actually, I came across that very recently, and he was in effect a vegetarian. Yeah. Right, we've got a couple of calls coming in. Right, who's on the line, please?
Saj, it's me again, Jav.
Jav,
Sorry to
go
disturb you
on.
a second time. I think it would help people if Sarah could share the crowdfunding appeal that she has, where people can donate, because I know it's been...
Unfortunately, we're not able to share any of those details, Jab, but thank you very much for your call again. The next caller, please.
Hello.
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 Hello, who's calling, please?
My name is Roxy. I'm calling from Nelson.
Roxy, nice to hear from you. Thank you very much for your calling. What would you like to talk about, Roxy?
So I'm just watching, and it's heartwarming to see the strength that this family is showing.
Fantastic.
And I just wanted to really call just to wish you both well, inshallah. And
That
you
is
know,
so nice, Roxy. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
We
that.
do.
And thank you so much for
you're
calling.
always in our du'as, and also you're a soldier, Muz. Good luck.
Yeah.
You're a soldier.
He is
You
a
can
soldier.
do it.
We can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot
Roxy,
to us.
that's
That really
so
does.
sweet of you, very kind of you, and thank you. Your call is really appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
God bless.
Allah
Allah
Hafiz.
Hafiz. Yeah, so with just a few minutes left, in summing up, I'll say thank you very much again. Well, I think the audience, viewers and myself, we really appreciate the strength you've shown, the extraordinary character in sharing your story, not just here tonight, but generally, because that's very helpful. Dear viewers, the Almighty has blessed us all with this extraordinary life on this amazing planet. But all our lives are finite. None of us knows how long we have. So let us all make the most of what we have. Let us be kind and loving and caring to our parents, first and foremost, our family and friends, our neighbours, and the community in general. You know, be nice, be kind, be fair, be just, be polite to one another. Stay humble. This is my message. And as I said, apart from all the treatments we've discussed lifestyles and diets and treatments and so forth. There is no bigger treatment than the blessing of the Almighty. So, and the prayers of our parents, the best wishes, the goodwill of our dear friends. Absolutely. And tonight, our dear audience, the people who've taken the trouble to ring, and I'm sure thousands and millions across the world, will be wishing this wonderful couple the best of luck and praying for them and hoping that they're able to beat this awful disease which they have fought head on. We have 40 seconds. I was just very quickly, was 20 for you, 20 for Sarah.
I just want people to open up, like I've come out, you know, don't be shy. If there's any problems, anything you're going through mentally or cancer, don't be afraid to ask for help, because we all need the help.
Yeah,
100%. Absolutely. Like you said, this is part of the journey for us, sharing it, getting that awareness out there, and trying to make a difference. Plant-based diet.
and good luck with the money you're trying to raise privately. I'm sure people will look at that and support you in the best way they possibly can. Dear viewers, thank you so much again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for ringing. Best of luck. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Allah Hafiz.